welcome back to weboughtamic, a pop culture podcast, Bocast. Talking
Ketchup cast.
some things that we've been watching with a special guest, who I'll introduce in a second.
Yeah. No. We don't just start with the guest. Like, that's what.
There has to be some opening banter to kind of break the ice a little bit.
Yes. I just got back from the Mushroom Kingdom where I'm trying to overthrow my dad's company.
This was the same useless banter you tried last episode.
I tried.
What if we just kept
worse.
doing this?
But
how long would it take you to butt in if we just kept doing this?
But like, I was trying to combine a bunch of things that we're talking about. I'm a serial killer turned actor.
Welcome to the show. My name's Ernest.
My name is freaking 420 Blaze It Hunter, because that's the day that we're recording on. Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Not the day this is coming out.
No, this is coming out like a week afterwards, but like
It's fine.
for now we're recording this.
Or maybe I'll
420.
release it first.
What if we drop it on Earth Day?
Okay.
It might, if I can time it right. Which day is Earth Day?
22nd.
That's Saturday.
Yeah.
Well,
I probably
say
won't have
that.
it done.
No, it's probably not.
I'm the only one that does anything.
That's not true. We provide a charisma.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this alone. Could you imagine talking to
Could
the
you
to
do
the
solo
air?
pods? Like, would you? Do you have 45 minutes of just like talking without a break in you?
45.
That's why I'm sort of forgiving to like the radio hosts that genuinely just do a whole show on their own, and because you end up saying like insane shit if you're running out of time. That's why all of those sports dudes who do those shows are like the worst guys on earth, because like you have to have schizophrenia in order to talk to yourself for that long.
You have to be Bo in order to talk about it. But no, you have to like, that's even more insane, because that's 3 hours straight, 5 days a week. Like, that is nuts. I can't even imagine talking about. I love hearing myself talk, but not that much.
Now you get my boy Hunter on the line. We're having a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, who could talk about films for 2 hours straight?
Drew's here and joining us for the first time in a very long time. You can talk. You're just mouthing words in front of a microphone.
Well, you haven't introduced who it is, so like, you basically have taken the voice out of our guest.
My sister, Camila, welcome.
Hi. I made it. For the crowds on the video. I hope I gave you the performance of a lifetime.
Yeah, you were channeling Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I think you said.
Yeah, I'm gonna fleabag it a little to the camera.
I think she talks though. She looks at the camera and then says things.
I feel
to the
like
camera.
the guest isn't there until they get the intro, because then
Right.
who's talking?
It's like you haven't spawned.
It's like an
into
entity.
Yeah, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
You haven't spawned into.
They
the
have
game
nothing
map.
to hold on to. They're grasping for air.
You're in a loading screen.
Grasping
Yeah.
for air.
Here's the thing, is that if I'm ever listening to a podcast and somebody just starts talking without saying like, hi, my name is so-and-so, I get scared. I get
Right, you're like,
terrified.
this
I'm
is-
like,
Afraid?
I don't know who
This
this
is
person
different.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
so
who I'm listening
now I'm
to right
here,
now.
and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Today we're talking to RV.
Again.
Redux.
Tour V. It's
A
the tour
retrospective.
van.
We're doing
No.
a deep dive into Encanto.
What if-
Should we?
Write
Are
that
we?
down.
No Robin this week.
Should we package all our generational trauma into a neat, tidy Disney box?
Is it Encanto?
Oh my God, we should do that. There you go.
With no problem at all. Everyone gets their powers back, and we all smile. Everything's fixed. The house is back.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda's there.
Yeah, and he's kind of slaying it, but like lower tiered.
Wait, I'm confused right now. Are you guys pro Encanto or
It was in
or
my top
anti?
10. It
That's
was in
what
my
I
top
thought.
10.
That's-
yeah.
I'm actually heavily pro.
But-
Encanto.
Okay.
The ending pissed me
Encanto.
off.
That's fair.
You
The
wanted
ending
her
of
to
this-
just end up with no gift
With
and
no
be
house.
normal.
They destroy the house. The house should stay destroyed to teach
and
kids
then
a
what?
lesson.
Immigrate to America.
No, you
That's the end
build.
of the-
Yeah, that's how the movie ends.
You-
And then you buy
They
a
get
house
the-
in Tallahassee, Florida.
You build a new house.
in America.
They rebuild the exact same house, and it's like they hit this reset button.
Oh.
They should build a new house.
Okay, that's
or their
valid.
own
That's a hotter
houses.
take.
Why does everyone have to live in one big house? fucking Colombian propaganda. I hate it.
Can I give my 2 cents as a white person who watched Encanto?
You know, you're going to anyway. I
Ernie,
feel like.
I'm going
turn on
to-
TikTok camera. Get the TikTok camera going.
TikTok camera on.
He's about to spit.
Listen, I say this as a Hamilton lover. We have surpassed Lin-Manuel Miranda's saturation in society, and we need him to back the fuck off.
I said this in the year 2020.
But here's
you
the thing.
disagreed.
I loved the lip bites. I want him to go back to just biting
Yeah.
his lip on camera.
Yeah.
I don't want him making children's
Me
movies
Encanto.
anymore.
I
I
think-
don't like the music for Encanto. And that's my biggest thing, because I actually like the story and everything. There's a couple songs that I like in there, but for the most part, it's too poppy.
Sure.
Is my thing. I miss like the old, like what made like the classic Disney's like great, and even like going into something like Moana, which I know, well, Moana, but like
Hunter was low key a Disney boy.
I was a Disney boy.
Yeah.
Come on, it's not that low key.
Once a Disney boy.
So you
always
wanted, you wanted to be
Should
more
I bust
like
out my annual
musically-
pass holder? Well, no, I wanted to have more of the theatrical elements to it. Like that's what was great
Sweeping
about
strings.
exactly like
no,
something
that's a good point.
something like
No,
the
I like this
90s, the
point.
Beauty and the Beast stuff like that. Like there's basically it's like that's a whole
Get Alan
Edition.
Menken back on it.
Dude,
Where
where
he?
is
Where
that
did he go?
boy at?
Come on,
Where
he's
he at?
still spry.
Yeah, he's like
He's
80.
kicking. Yeah.
I think that Camila Cabello should.
Make us
Oh,
Cinderella.
what did you just
I-
call her? Her
Ca-
name is Camilla.
Camilla?
No,
Cabello.
one L.
I-
One L. Don't you do that to my girl.
Camilla.
She has.
I think Camila Cabello should stop being in anything or singing.
Hey, she's back with Shawn Mendes.
Hold on.
Oh, I can do pop
I
culture.
I think she
hour.
should be every
Let's
Disney
do
princess.
pop culture.
This is
I
not
Back
a
with Shawn Mendes.
it's
I
not
don't
a
wanna say
gossip-
anything. I
gossip
don't-
podcast.
I don't want to get
Except
like
when we
canceled
devoted-
on TikTok for like saying some like shit about how Camila Cabello is untalented.
He said it.
but-
now.
No, you messed it. It's,
Oh, did I say that?
Look,
it's
I haven't
Camilla.
posted-
Camilla.
I'm spreading Anglocentrism.
I haven't posted anything to the TikTok. It's like in a while.
Well, this is your clip.
I needed the heat off me.
Yeah.
Camilla Cabello is your clip.
Do we really want to
Don't you
wander
dare.
into Camilla?
Don't. No, fuck no. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna run for office someday.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that Lin-Manuel
We have
is
big problems
actually
if we run for office someday.
is actually a very good member of the Central Florida community. Well, not that he lives here, but he he has a presence here. He is a donor and a supporter of good, keeping up the good fight against the tyranny of DeSantis. So
I
even
love
if
him.
even if
Love
his,
is love is love is love.
even if his musical talents may be a little too spread thin at the moment,
but he delivers and makes money every time.
Yeah.
Like you can't deny.
I like Tick Tick Boom. I liked it.
I like Tick Tick Boom. As
I
well.
Andrew
loved it.
Garfield is great. In
I
it.
Andrew Garfield did not know how to sing before that movie, and Lynn said, "You will learn, and you
I
will
don't
slay."
believe that.
And he did. I
you think-
I thoroughly do. I
Whoa.
thoroughly do.
Andrew
Garfield
can do
is like
anything.
I feel like he had to know a little bit how to sing because he's the most like theater kid guy ever. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
He never
says,
ran into singing.
I believe every word that comes out of every celebrity's mouth, of course. So
Yeah.
gospel.
He was like, I actually didn't have vocal cords until like last week. That's fair.
So last time we had you on
was eighth grade, yeah. Oh
was
well,
a
there's a secret one.
that's what I was about to say, a lost episode of We Bought a Mic.
Are we allowed
That
to?
we really shouldn't get into, but the
why
girlies
shouldn't
who
we?
get it.
Yeah, I guess are we not allowed to talk
Can we
about
live?
this?
Is the NDA expired?
Yeah.
Not you being like, we can't talk shit about Lin-Manuel Miranda because he could hear this, but we can definitely talk shit about Camilla.
He's gonna
Cool.
call
'Cause they
you right after
definitely
this. Lin-Manuel just like screaming at you.
What's the lesson for the kids out there? Don't record a podcast about people at your current school
You don't have to go to college for theater. It's okay. If you just
or wait
That's
until
also-
after
no,
you
I'm just
graduate
I
to
felt
record the podcast.
I genuinely felt so
Just-
bad, like when I heard about that whole. Oh my god,
Yeah.
which we're not talking about.
If we don't say exactly what it is, the Google alerts won't fire because that's what happened.
that's what happened.
Mhm.
There were very
You
few.
put the title of
There
the
were
thing.
just a bit, and he was getting every one.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
exactly. That was on me. I know how SEO works.
So listen, I'll just.
But then I was here for eighth grade, and that was a great episode.
You were here for the 8th grade up. Wow,
Yeah, that was so long ago.
2018,
that's so long ago.
early
OG.
days.
And OG, and now I'm back. And I do love Lin-Manuel.
There actually is an episode still on the feed from that session because we talk cats.
Oh, okay.
We did like 35 minutes on cats.
Sure.
And then we
did.
just happened to also talk about a Devin Werkheiser film.
Am I gonna have to bleep that?
No, you can say we didn't say which one. We
Is
could
there a Google alert
we
for
could have been
Devin
talking
Werkheiser?
I'm gonna have to bleep that again.
Well,
Listen,
then let's talk about how
guys,
hey,
we could have
guess
been talking
what?
about Shedderman rules.
Shut
Shredderman
up.
rules.
I'm just gonna cut.
Sundown.
I'm just
I
gonna
want
have
to
to
no,
cut all
don't.
of this.
I wanted to, but I did want to bring this up though, based
I'm
off
sweating.
of that. Have you heard the Ned's pod? It's popping.
I've watched it on TikTok.
Me too. I haven't actually listened to one. I don't know if I'm going to commit that hard to it.
The
but-
Waverly Place one too. They get
There's a
pretty deep.
Waverly. This Child Stars, instead of spinning out on drugs now, they have this avenue to just do a podcast
They do
about their
therapy
show.
on their show about their show.
Yeah, or
Isn't one like it's kind of the same, like 6 on one side, half dozen the other, of like spinning out on drugs, starting a podcast. Like, what's
You
really the
tell me.
difference there?
Are
That's
we
fair.
gonna be able to keep any of this in? You
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you later. How about that?
okay? Jesus fucking Christ Almighty!
Give me-
Round 2.
later you're going to be
Give me,
like,
like,
yeah,
12
ditch all
hours.
that. Delete it, get rid of it all.
I don't want to get another phone call in the middle of my vacation.
Okay, so you are now a
Uh,
certified professional actor.
Yeah, that's what they call me. That's what it's on my tax return.
Wow.
So
Nice.
that's to be celebrated. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. You're gonna hit a
if you-
year of
1 year.
working professionally
Mm-hmm.
straight with
Don't-
no side gigs.
Don't you
It's true.
dare, by the way, don't cross the picket line when
Yeah.
the writers strike. It's happening.
It is happening. It is happening. Well, luckily, I'm
You
currently
better,
a theater artist, so
you better fucking be out there holding a sign. I
I
wanna
will.
see
I
it.
will rally for the film writers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you have you been following that, by the way, at all?
I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally what I've heard. Is
Shit's
like,
gonna be
what
tough
does this
for a
mean
while.
for a lot
It's-
of shows, but not from the writer's side. Maybe if I say it into my phone, it'll come out on my TikTok.
Right.
I think it's going to be tough because I think that there's a lot more like union solidarity in Hollywood than there used to be.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Like I think, yeah, and I think it's just,
Whole
like the
country.
DGA, for example, today said that they will not cross the picket lines, like their members. So it's effectively becomes a writer and director strike. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a
Oh,
general
it's-
strike. We just need everyone to strike. Because
Mhm.
like if you
let's do it like France style.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will strike this
Do
podcast.
you hear the people singing?
I-
that.
Nice.
I thought we were gonna like bust out some lame
I'm
ish
talking
shit.
like
I don't know.
firebomb, like,
Okay.
like looting
Ooh,
France.
Should
I was
we,
ready to,
should we
like,
go
sing
into
some
that
songs.
movie? Should
All right,
we go
let's
into
do that. Let's do that.
Let's unpack 2012's Les Miserables.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's so
What if someone did like a
I
Les
dreamed a
Miserables, but
dream.
like for like the modern French protests, So it's like Les Miserables, but it's
Wow,
about getting your taxes
every Yale
raised
grad
like 1%.
student
Yeah.
is gagging right now.
Yeah.
They're like,
Write this down. Write this down.
I think Lin-Manuel
I love
has
you, Yale.
something.
I love you, Yale.
Lin-Manuel has the script floating around.
Don't
about
cancel me, Yale.
yeah.
Yo, now it's yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't know. Getting canceled by Yale would be kind of sick. Like I'd be okay with that. Like, oh no, a Harvey Lee,
Yeah.
Harvard,
A Harvey Lee.
the Harvey brothers
Harvey
are coming after me.
Harvey Lee. Oh man.
I don't think he'll care that I said this yesterday. I did a show and someone was saying a line at me and they were supposed to say appetite or I messed it up. I fucked the punchline up. They were supposed to say appetite and they turned to me and they're like, my appetite. And I lost it.
All right, take it again from one. I'll laugh.
My appetite.
Oh, she's gone. We lost her.
Damn.
Please.
And scene.
Okay, so the other day.
That's how I seduce people as I say, hey, my appetite.
Oh my
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. I was like,
God, this podcast is so
okay,
so
let's restart.
deranged.
Let's just restart.
We can't. We gotta go.
It's gonna be worse. It's
We
only
gotta-
gonna get worse.
We gotta go. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving.
Ernest, I want you to really think before you just delete a big chunk when you're in the edits here.
Yeah, I want you to just keep it all.
What about little chunks?
No.
Just like little, like
Word.
little.
Just make our own your own sentences out of our words. Like
we should just
like the
bleep all of our names in the beginning, so like it's no one knows who it is.
Yeah, and like blur our faces. Should I
Yeah.
put some like Beau is Afraid style masks? on us.
Yeah, deep in my voice.
Yeah.
Those were so scary.
Anyway,
We're not talking Bo is Afraid this episode. We did just see it.
that is going to be a separate episode.
Mhm.
That you have probably already listened to.
We did
Depending-
want to give you a bit of a catch-up episode in a bit of a different way. Because we have seen different amounts of different shows. Some of us are more caught up than others. And there might be an opportunity to recommend certain things
Right.
or not. So our guest here, an actor,
Yes.
I did want to ask you,
Sure.
what are some good performances that you've seen recently in
Oh.
any shows or movies?
Elle
as of
Fanning
late?
in The Great has been on my mind recently.
Haven't seen it. What's good about it?
Great.
Okay, well, you get 4 seasons of Elle Fanning, who really, is like one of those people that you only see in a movie every couple of years. So you should just eat up her performance, honestly.
She's the one in Daddy Daycare, right?
No
Yes.
way, really?
Yes, she
Yeah?
is in Daddy Daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan.
Like,
She's great in that
she,
movie.
she had such
That
like
was
a rich
20
child.
years ago,
Yeah,
but
she had such a rich child star career and then kind of like disappeared and she came back for the show and
Dakota disappeared hardcore,
Yeah.
right?
Isn't she
Yes.
back?
She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's right.
But that was like her first
Right.
thing in a while.
right.
But
Wait, it is Elle Fanning, right? Will you Google it?
yeah, it's Elfada.
Okay, cool. Everyone has
Off
a
the
laptop
dome.
in front of me, and
Mel
I'm
Gibson.
just,
What were you?
I'm just taking from my brain.
Is that
That's
Nicholas
great.
Holt is in that, right?
Yeah, so he plays
Yeah.
her love
Hey, big
hate
fan.
interest.
Did you see the menu?
What's the tone here?
Yeah,
What's the tone of this?
it's farcical.
Okay.
So it's like The Favorite.
Yeah, because Nicholas Holt is in the
Similar.
favorite as well.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
very funny in it.
It's
Fifth
giving
season-
your ghost.
5th season coming out in May. I'm pretty sure.
Jesus,
So
God, they've been
final.
pumping him out.
Think final.
Yeah.
So that's been on my mind. Jason Sudeikis and Ted Lasso. I binged that recently, and I'm watching this new season.
what
the
do you,
Lasso conversation is in full heat right now.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
we
what do
can
you
get
think
into
of the new season? Because I watched the first episode and I have not kept up with it.
Yeah, Ernest said the same thing. I also feel like I have a different perspective because I feel like a lot of people consume the show during the pandemic. And we were talking about how you have like a very specific feeling you kind of relate to it. I've
Yeah.
been watching it. I binged it all a couple months ago. So I was like excited for this new season. And I think also just like consuming it all at once instead of week by week always changes a show for me. Like, and I think I tend to binge more and I get attached to the characters because I like take it all at once and it's like a long movie. Whereas with some of these shows, if you're waiting week to week, it doesn't hold up as much because you lose that steam of like caring really.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a different perspective on it. Also just like something about being like a year out of undergrad and like where I'm at in life and like him going through this divorce is actually like so
Yeah.
similar. And
It bleeds into the character a little bit.
yeah, like not to spoil too much, but this last week, like he's like going on this journey that I relate to of like just feeling very just unsure about why he doesn't feel satisfied in life. And he like goes to a museum, like looks at a Van Gogh painting, and I'm like, that's been me so many times.
Nice. I love Sudeikis. I love Ted Lasso. I've been a little bit kind of back and forth on this season.
I get it.
Just because I thought that season 2 was kind of a borderline masterpiece
Yeah, you
in
guys
a lot
were-
of ways.
You watched it too, right, Hunter?
Oh,
Season
yeah,
two?
no, I loved
you
it.
guys were
Yeah, it was in
so
my top
into
10 of the
season
year.
2.
It does what you think a sitcom can't and shouldn't do, and it pulls it off marvelously. Where season 1, I think, is just kind of a very happy show about kindness and just when everyone hates you, just hit them with a smile and keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Season 2 is about how that smile covers up a lot of pain
Yeah.
and sadness
Mhm.
and how people cope with their depression through that, consistent positive feeling.
Yep.
And they nailed it, man. Like it's so, and then you throw in all these other things like the daddy issues and the toxic masculinity between some of these players. And I think they knocked it out of the park. And then this one, and also the therapist character, which is a huge part of that.
Mhm.
But this third season is just like, I don't feel like it has a central idea. Like, I don't feel like it's really trying to, which again, a sitcom doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that.
that's your standard season of most sitcoms. It's just like, the idea is he's soccer coach, football coach, funny.
Well, right,
the thing
exactly. So it's just, to have a void where there was something that I really adored about that show in the previous season feels like it's missing something, but it still has a lot of good there left over. I think.
I urge you guys, now that like a couple of them have come out, to maybe just like sit and have a night and watch them all.
Well, I've only missed the new one, so I've seen
yeah.
it. I've seen it all up until the newest one that you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like, there was a lot of those aspects that you kind of brought up. Some of the more heady aspects of Ted Lasso last season I liked, but for the most part, I also just like Ted Lasso because it's a fun hang.
Yeah.
Like it's a Bill
Something good
Lawrence
to
show.
put
And
on.
I loved Scrubs. I was a huge Scrubs kid growing up.
You
So
were.
like that's just kind of one of those things that still is like, I get to just like see my friends again. And Scrubs has some ideas where it's like some story arcs that go on season to season, some
Mhm.
dramatic
Mindy
themes of like,
Project.
yeah, I would never watch the Mindy Project, but I know that also kind of has similar.
It might be her best, honestly.
I believe it. It's her project. Um,
people have been going after her ass for the Scooby Doo.
She ran away to India. She said goodbye.
Really?
Yeah,
She-
she
Yeah,
literally
that's sad.
went to
That's-
India for like, I don't know, maybe like a month or two. Like she was like,
I
I got my
that
check.
happened.
I'm out.
To be
Do
perfect.
you guys think her and what's his face are like secretly dating?
Who?
BJ Novak.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I think that
That's
might just be
interesting.
like a fanfic based theory
Yeah.
that people have.
He's the godfather of her children.
Oh my
And no one knows who the baby daddy is.
I don't think that you would make like, I don't know. I don't think you'd be so bold to make
Yeah.
the dude that you're like low key seeing the Godfather. Like,
Did you know that
disrespect.
BJ? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say one last thing on Ted Lasso. Whenever you guys were talking about it bleeding in Jason Sudeikis' real life, I was really worried that you're gonna be like, there's this new character, like you meet the ex-wife's
Oh, I love
new
your
boyfriend,
ex-wife.
and
I
she's
have
actually a
4
pop star.
nipples.
I was worried that we were gonna have like
It's
Olivia
like a
Wilde.
movie.
It's like a real movie.
I love you, Harry.
How are you
Jesus
with accents?
Christ.
I guess it
Okay.
runs in the family,
Okay.
huh?
Okay.
Shit. God damn it.
That raw natural ability.
I actually have this. Okay, so do you want me to answer you like real life?
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say like we throw them around very poorly, very flippantly.
I speak for yourself. I do a mean Elvis.
Hunter, well,
Mama.
Okay.
That's it.
yeah. How are you with Elvis
Mama.
accents?
Yeah, bust out.
In terms of
Do
like
your best,
grading
mama.
them?
How many different
Professional actor breaks down Elvis impression.
I'm gonna do my Austin Butler as Elvis Presley 6 months after the movie.
Okay, go.
Mhm.
I don't know what everyone's saying. I sound like Elvis. I just sound. This is how I've always talked.
Damn, and that's
That's-
facts.
Man, that almost sounds like you're doing like a Forrest Gump meets Elvis kind of situation. You were like making our boy Austin like lose IQ points.
Have you listened to him?
You know,
Is he smart?
Oh, Baron
Is he
Harkonnen,
smart?
why you gotta be so mean?
He has Riz. I'll tell you that.
I take a very like pen and paper approach to accent work. So like if I have to do an accent in a show, which thank you Jesus is pretty rare, but I did have to do one. I had to do kind of a Mexican accent for my last show I was in. It's okay, you guys. It wasn't bad. It was
I'm
all
so
good.
sorry.
Shout out Yale. My accent coach was a Yale professor, but it's very like every sound I like write the sound change in IPA, in the International Phonetic Alphabet, and then it's literally just you read it, and then it's not difficult because it's
You're
like
just
reading.
saying sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't really believe in like I can whip out an accent and that makes me good at accents, because actually
Sure.
if you just write it, you can like cheat your way into doing it, which which is kind of my way.
Facts.
But I do them all the time, babes. I love a British accent.
You do have that written down.
Yeah, you like wrote it on your hand.
Pit. But no, yeah, we had to do like Irish in school and all that.
Hunter can do some Irish.
Well, yeah, you got a little bit of Irish in me.
Nice.
That actually was pretty good.
Listen,
I can bust it out every now and then.
we used to,
I've seen banshees of Inisherin.
when we were like 15, we would
You're
like
the only one.
we would
Yeah.
get on.
That's okay.
Hey,
I'm running out of it.
Come on. Banshees heads rise up.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you can.
We're talking
I'm not
about
on the
Mike.
Banshee's head, but you can be one.
Do you remember we used to get on Omegle and you would just do an Irish accent?
Oh, of
And that would
course.
be the
And
whole.
then he'd whip his dick out.
Yeah.
Ew.
No, then the other person would though, like all the time.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Hunter, your thespian energy is at peak right now.
Yeah, I just need
Next
another
to
theater
Kami.
head here, and then I
Did
I
you
got
do
it coming.
thespians like ITS? Like
No,
Florida Thespian
I
Festival?
dropped out of the theater game before I got.
He was a
to
yat
thespian.
boy.
I was a yat boy, but
Remember, he was.
we had big
Yeah.
young
We
can't
actors.
talk about that.
We had big young actors talk on the pod last week here.
Yeah,
We was talking
Tony
about Tony
Hale.
Hale
Yeah,
and
RV
Cheryl Hines.
has both of the young
Tony
actors.
Hale
in
and
it.
Cheryl Hines.
No,
are both
I'm
in it.
here. Oh,
And, yeah.
we should. I mean,
Listen, Yat Squad.
Yeah,
wrote
weren't
it up.
you in Christmas Carol?
I was Tiny Tim.
That's
I played Winthrop in the
See,
Music
you
Man.
got a real star right here, real legend.
We had the Wells
Wow.
Fargo wagon.
Ghost Baby. You know about Ghost Baby?
The fuck?
I don't know what you're saying.
Our theater Ghost. Yeah, it was called Ghost Baby because it used to be a
Whoa.
preschool.
Looks like you were bullied.
Yeah,
No,
many years. Oh,
That sounds about right.
No, I
but by the
I didn't stick through till graduation, so
I did.
the ghost was probably just a prank to scare you
Oh,
because you were vulnerable and they wanted to mess with you.
Jesus.
Jesus.
No, I think it was
For
just
the ghost
lore.
story.
There's always ghosts in theaters. That's like a thing. Ghost lights.
Oh, well, see, this is all kinds of lore that I'm not familiar with.
Oh, actors are a very
Fucking nerds.
There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of superstition.
Look, all I'll say is the other day I watched Hereditary and I was like, do not fuck around with ghosts. Why is this
That's
like
so
a
true.
cute thing that everyone's like,
Ghost hunters.
Ernie
having
just-
a ghost
Ernie just
in my
pivoted back to
theater.
ketchup and we didn't even notice. That was so
Man.
expert.
Didn't you
That
go
was incredible.
ghost hunting once? Wait, before we veer off of Yat, do you remember the?
No.
Yeah, because
you guys, you
they
can stop
honestly-
the pod. I just want to
do
say.
you remember?
Welcome to
the,
We Bought a Mic.
Destroyed.
the
Okay,
chant?
let's start here.
This is important to me. Do you remember the chant you had to do right after Circle, like right before a show?
I know after every show ended, you sing Oklahoma.
No.
The
Like
chant?
after Circle. If I start it, maybe
No.
you'll remember.
What is it? What is the chant?
It's wondrous applause, glorious applause,
Yeah,
beautiful, stunning,
that
madness,
is
and soaring. It's
oh
better
my
than pop,
God,
it's better than
Jesus.
booze. A shot of applause will stop at the blues. Everything you do better because you're doing it to the beat of applause. Let's do the show.
Yeah, okay. You just brought some.
Did
You just brought
did they
like
tell
a
you to,
flood
like,
of
do
memories
that?
back from
Or do,
like.
a rock and roll.
Let's
like
do the
15
show. I
years
think
ago.
my generation added let's do the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Your impact.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask. If,
You
how
just
long
said
ago.
that and then it just it did.
It's like,
bring back something. I
Yeah.
remember.
We're gonna get lots of comments on this one about like how we triggered them.
Yeah. All the
reactivate.
Yat
Well,
squad
speaking
is
of,
gonna listen.
in, Did you play Zip Zap Zop yet?
Sure,
I'm sure you
sure.
played plenty of it.
I still play Zip Zap
Yeah.
Zop.
Classic improv / acting like warm
Should
up
we play
game.
right? No.
They play it in Beau's Afraid.
Oh wow.
There's a shot where when they're at like the theater camp
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
Spoiler. Yeah, it cuts across a group of people playing Zip Zap
They
Zop.
do that.
I was like, what the fuck?
They're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the proper form.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta shoot it.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I was asking you about Joaquin earlier in
Yeah.
the car.
Love him.
Mumble
Yeah,
King.
he's one of your guys.
I wouldn't say maybe perhaps one of my guys, but I
That was so kind.
Jesus.
Who are you guys? Who are you guys?
Andrew Scott is number one. If I think who's my guy,
Hot priest.
Andrew Scott. Yeah,
Mm.
hot priest.
Andrew Scott. Okay, who's next?
Like that
Let's all name our guys.
that I value as actors.
Or like who else you think is a hot priest? There's the young pope.
Benedict
Oh wait, no,
Cumberbatch
that
is a
doesn't count.
hot
He's a
priest.
pope,
Yeah.
not a priest.
Pope John Paul II. I have like a list.
Yeah.
The Pope's exorcist.
Who are your guys?
I'm thinking. I mean, I think I could say my girl's probably faster. Issa Rae.
Nice.
That's that one HBO show that you
Insecure.
love.
Insecure.
Yeah.
Have we watched Men?
That one HBO.
I
know. We need to
to.
learn. We need to
Fucking
sit our
hell.
asses down and listen.
I gotta go.
It's time to wake up.
I'm too busy watching like fucking Survivor.
Dave.
I watched I May Destroy You.
Dave.
Watching Dave.
Dave.
Damn.
Oh shit!
I have to come
I gotta
back for,
scratch off something off my list right now. I'm sorry.
Bro's watching FX's
gotta
Dave.
keep the palette diverse.
I do think Dave is what's his name? Dave Bird. He is doing a really interesting thing with that show.
I know.
He's like the main creative force. His performance is so good.
It's just, do you want me to tell you why I haven't seen it? It's because I don't want to like it. Because
Yeah,
I don't
'cause I
want to
don't
admit
like
that I
Little
like
Dicky.
him. Because
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
good.
As of now, I'm not a huge fan of his. And
I would rather
I don't
just
want to
keep
be
it that
proven
way.
wrong.
It's one of
And
those
I know
things-
that show is legitimate. Like every
great.
single person whose opinion I respect actually likes that show, like from a critical perspective. But once I watch it, I won't be able to have that over everyone.
Right?
I think you have
If I don't like something that other people like, then must be better than that.
Yeah.
Right.
well, you have a thing
Especially
where
when it
like
comes to Little Dicky.
you have too many guys right now, and you actually are looking to like get rid of some
All
of your
right.
guys.
My guys.
You're like
Jeremy
"Sweet,
Renner.
I can't like Louis anymore. Thank God I can kick him out of here.
Jeremy Renner. Zach Braff.
Ozark.
Okay, there you
Everyone
go.
loves Ozark.
Jonathan Majors.
But like only as of recently, only in like the last 2 weeks, you've gotten the Jonathan Majors train.
Shout out Yale. What's up, y'all?
Speaking of acting, can I talk a little bit about voice acting real quick?
Go for
And
it.
specifically in the film, the cinematic achievement that is the Super Mario Brothers movie. A movie that I
Is this one of your
saw.
guys? Mario.
Jackie?
Jackie Blackie is one of my guys.
I made you say it.
Jackie Black.
So I think
You're gonna have to bleep that.
Turn on the turn on the TikTok camera.
Cal, turn the TikTok camera off. Turn it off. Throw it away. This movie is awful. I think it's terrible.
It had a huge opening
I mean,
weekend.
I think this movie is
it
like
went crazy.
it's like dog
At the
shit.
box office.
Gaia and I almost left like 3 different times while watching
Guy
this
didn't
movie.
like it either.
No, we
I
hated
genuinely
it.
thought the guy would like it because
That-
she likes those like sensory videos.
That is
and like that's
literally-
what this is.
That is
It's
disrespectful
like
to
watching, like,
Gaia's
shapes
opinion.
and colors, and it makes
So
you happy.
here's the thing. I
Like
actually
trolls.
think that everything that
She
isn't
loves trolls.
based around
love
Mario. We can talk about trolls. Trolls is some
no,
some
you got no
bangers.
go. Sorry.
Everything that is not focused on Mario in this movie is actually pretty good. Specifically,
Right.
Jack Black as Bowser. I love Jack
That's
Black.
all
as
I've heard
Bowser.
about it.
I love
He's
everything that he is doing in
Sings a
this movie
song.
is like legitimately one of the best supporting performances I've seen in a movie this year so far.
Could get that.
Like, I think that he is actually incredible. Peaches.
He's
If you
gonna
guys
get the
have
Oscar.
listened on TikTok,
It's a shoo-in.
best original song. He's awesome. Chris Pratt as Mario is giving absolutely
Ugh.
nothing, just serving
Pizza.
nothing. He's just doing Chris Pratt voice is like, look at me, I'm a Mario. It's funny because the movie starts with Chris Pratt and Charlie Day. Actually, they're doing the voice, they're doing the Mario and the Luigi.
That's one thing.
And then
that's
they're
true.
just like
the voices go in and out throughout the movie.
They-
The
like
level,
when they're like at work.
the level of accent they're doing
well, they start
is
to
wildly
do it.
inconsistent.
Okay, so Drew, you saw this movie?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that you saw this.
yeah.
He entered
Why?
the realm of
Mushroom,
So
mushroom, here we
tired.
come.
Why, Jesus? I did not know that you would actually sit through an hour and a half of this. No,
Hunter,
'cause
Hunter for
they-
the video, for the audio listeners, Hunter just threw his body around and threw up into a garbage bag,
Apple
just
type.
in disgust.
in disgust of Drew sitting.
What
through
were you
this.
guys? What
Um,
were you expecting, man? Like
I-
I went in there being like, yeah, this will probably suck, and then it was like, it didn't. I would say it was like extremely average, and I was like, cool.
I don't.
Good
I
for
think
you.
it's worse than average. This is like a bad kids movie because I think that
It's
this
so
movie.
inoffensive.
This movie is like, it's not even a movie for kids. It's a movie for fucking neckbeards who never like grew out
That
of
is
like
one thing. It
the
is
brain
such
age
a
of like 6.
so
Like
Yeah.
that's
if we're going
it's
through
all
things
the
that are wrong with it, you're right. Like I think the biggest thing is it is a millennial moment.
It's like a movie that's just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, look, it's the Rainbow Road. Oh, dude, that's a screen where you customize your cart. It's just like when I play Mario Kart at my house. Oh my god, they're playing the Blue Shell music. Like it's things like that are like do kids even know what these things are, or is this just a thing for like,
this is what
It's
cool.
less. It's
this
less,
is the moment that Mario represents.
Yeah, it's
it's for these
the
guys.
soy Wojak guy.
Well,
I'll put it on the screen.
put it on the TikTok.
Send that to me.
I googled
Yeah.
soy guys pointing.
I think I saw this movie more as like a corporate line item than a movie. It's
a movie that's an advertisement for Nintendo Land coming to Universal Studios Florida soon.
Nintendo needed to establish the brand. And this is the most down the middle. It is like so inoffensive. Like it doesn't do anything outside of its parameters. It's just going directly for the middle.
Here's what I'll say. I don't think that it was in any way better or worse than that last Minions movie. It's made by Illumination, and that movie felt really tough to me. Like it was a tough hang. It felt scattered. This one kind of feels weirdly scattered too. I think you're right. Things not focused on Mario are better. I wasn't super offended by anyone's voice performance because I don't know. I'm somewhere in between on like expecting people to really give like be accurate to what it was versus like just sounding like a funny guy. I like Charlie.
Charlie Day's great.
I think he did a good job.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Pratt didn't like really upset me or
he's not the three worst. I have
Down
like
the
a
middle.
three worst actors, and it's not them.
I'll say one thing. I'm a big fan of Anya Taylor-Joy. She's not a comedic actress.
She does nothing.
She's not known for like joke delivery necessarily. Like, but she's a really good actress. It just she's given like a lot of jokes, and I just think it's a miscast.
She's bad in this movie.
I
think she's like just straight up.
There are a
not
lot of
good
funny
in this
people
movie.
that you could have given that role to. I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I think she's bad. I think they tried to weirdly make Peach look like Anya Taylor-Joy, and like her
The
face,
big eyes.
dude, her face like repulsed me. Like looking at Peach disgusted
It's kind
me.
of horrifying.
All of the humans in this world, like including Mario and Luigi, the more that you look at them, the more like their faces are like weirdly like too symmetrical, and it's like super uncanny and gross. I was too horned up for Anya Taylor-Joy in this movie.
So you weren't alone. It was,
she's my
Seth
third.
Rogen, Donkey Kong.
No, so okay, so Anya Taylor-Joy, I would give the number 3 for the worst voice acting. Number 2 goes to Seth Rogen, because when you hear Seth Rogen on his Mario Kart, goes, I was like, I can't.
Isn't Donkey Kong like 100% black coded too? Like, let's.
they
in the movie or like
no,
generally
the games.
It's
there's quite an argument for that.
Yeah.
Well, what if I told you that he was only to be beat by the worst voice acting performance, which is our boy Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong?
Yeah, that was tough.
Really tough beat for our guy.
He was doing like a joke version of
Bernie,
a joke version.
it's like
of
Bernie
a role.
Sanders.
It's really bad.
It was fucking
honorable
weird.
mention at
Bernie
Keegan
alone.
Michael Key for Toad. I don't know what
Kegel?
he was doing.
Did you say Kegel?
Keegan.
Keegan.
We
Keegan doing
cannot
Kegels.
keep talking about the Super Mario Bros.
I know you guys talked about a previous pod. I just needed to get my thoughts out
Okay.
there that this
You didn't
movie's
like
bad.
it.
What Rise of Gru is a better movie than this. Like bar none. Like in almost
Secret
every
Truth.
single one.
I don't think that in terms of like the tiers of children's movies, I just don't think they're far apart, man. Like,
I think-
come on.
Drew
I
just
think
has Elle Fanning.
well, here's the thing. So it's like
left.
I think that if you're ranking the greatest movies of all time,
Every time you look over, it's like zoomed more in.
but in like weird spots, like you're zooming into like a dimple on her chin.
Yeah. In the great, not in Daddy Daycare. In the great.
Jesus Christ.
Elle Fanning in the great.
What else have you been watching?
Okay, so staying on the corporate brand
Beef?
line item, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves.
Okay.
What I would call a good time at the movies. You know, we are in a moment where we might be seeing the end of the superhero boom in modern movie going, and this creates a perfect opportunity for a movie like Dungeons and Dragons to just slip right in there and be like, hey,
Love fantasy.
I got a little something different going on. I hearken back to
Chrissy Pine.
ye olden times of Pirates of the Caribbean and the Mask of Zorro.
Right.
You know,
some sword
A
fighting.
swashbuckling adventure of
Love
sorts.
it.
So it's good.
It's a good time. There is some like iffy VFX where it's just like, could have cooked a little bit longer.
Is this a COVID shoot?
It's not
No.
cats.
I mean, everything's a COVID shoot coming out now that's been produced over the last 18 months.
Bridgerton Man.
I know, but is it like a COVID shoot?
No,
Okay.
they went outside and filmed with cameras outside in the world. They built sets. They built a lot of like creature design effects, which
I would
is
say
really
the
cool.
practical stuff in this looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks really, really cool, really well done. The like castle world, whenever they're walking around it all feels very like real, like you can actually touch it. And
also,
that was great.
The tone of the movie really struck me because it's a funny movie. Like there are jokes, but it's not at the expense of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like the Taika Waititi, James Gunn stuff, that I think is what has caused the rotten smell of modern superhero movies, where it was good at the time, but all these years later, I think that snarkiness, and maybe you could go back to Joss Whedon as the original sin, but I think that abandoning that and going for something that's a little bit more, it can still be fun and jokey, but in the context of its own world and not just being like, isn't it silly that I'm in a Dungeons and Dragons movie?
We've just seen enough of that.
It's the Deadpoolification of everything.
Right.
Like, that's just everything is like a joke on itself.
And that's very like when you first see that, that's super like I loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
epic meta.
you can only take that so far. You gotta chill out at some point.
Have you guys watched Our Flag Means Death?
Love that show.
So good.
Love that show.
I've not seen that mostly
Peak
because
Taika.
I had to take a break from Taika after Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I had to question like, is this guy a fucking hack and do I hate him after that movie?
But I love Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's definitely worth it if you want a reason to go to the movies for like some adventure, some action adventure type stuff that's not more superhero. And I think that there are people out there that are in that mode where they're just like, I was just talking to you about this, Kami. Like, it really seems
I'm in
like
that boat.
Yeah, it really seems like the majority of the general audience is.
I haven't watched a Marvel movie since literally Spider-Man was the last one we were saying.
Yeah. So this, we got your Ant-Mans and your Shazams are struggling to stay afloat, probably even already drowned. Especially Shazam 2.
Said what you said.
And in comes Chris Pine and crew, just absolutely having a ball.
I was gonna say this movie. I'd go a step further than you, Ernie, and I'd say like I really love this movie, and part of it might have been that
it
this
has
was
some
a
jaw-dropping sequences.
This was a classic Bar Louie happy hour movie before going into seeing the film.
Yeah.
Going in, having a couple drinks, a couple apps, rolling up in there. But I just thought this movie is like a blast. It's like, it truly is just a great time. Like it's a classic 4-star movie that you just see in the theater and you're like, that was great. I had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. It's our boys, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein from Game Night.
They go out of their way.
Bones.
Yeah. They go out of their way to inject some creativity and imagination into this.
I mean, they're good filmmakers.
Which is like,
they pretty much prove beyond a shadow of a doubt with Game Night that they are good at like directing comedy. Like that, you know what I mean? That's such like a director heavy movie. Is this one like that? Like
there are some sequences,
quick edits, like visual jokes.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. There's lots of visual jokes, especially with like some of the monsters and stuff like that. That's really, really, really well done.
Yeah.
Also, like they get some really good performances. Of course, there's Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez there in the middle of this, but the two other main leads who we spend a lot of time with are Sophia Lillis, who was in It.
Young Bev,
and Justice Smith from Detective Pikachu, who outside Detective Pikachu did not ever see that guy in like anything. And to be honest, after Detective Pikachu, I was like, I don't know if this guy's got it.
Wasn't he in one of the Jurassic Worlds?
He's in stuff. Like he gets work. It's just not like necessarily great.
He was in that movie All the Bright Places. That like I think it's like a.
I'd be curious to hear.
Elle Fanning is in it. So bringing this full circle here.
Wait, Elle Fanning is in Dungeons and Dragons?
No, in All the Bright Places.
I'd be curious to hear what you think, Kami, because there's some sword fighting in there, which I know you do.
Love.
So I would love to hear like how, up to par.
I haven't seen it.
No. I know. But if you were to see it, that's what I would love to hear from you.
It would probably make for like a really good
and you're
podcast.
just like, man. I
you
could
had
have done the
seen
Chris
it.
Pine stuff. Like that could have been me. I was second up on the call sheet.
I will send in my review as soon as I catch it. I need to see a
Okay.
movie. I've been meaning to go to the movies.
Chris Pine.
Go see Bo's Afraid.
Chris Pine strikes me as
Yeah,
like
so
a
true.
theater kid type guy. Like
Yeah,
I could
right?
see him being in theater in high school and like really like being like
He's
the
not
popular
been
theater
on Broadway, I don't think.
dude.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
He's a
Jakey.
theater boy.
Yeah.
Jake, it's going back to one of my boys. Jake is one of my boys.
Is your wife
A1
a
since day
Swiftie? We
one.
shouldn't be talking about
A what?
him. Is your wife a Swiftie?
Oh, well, she is, but no, we are fully in the Jake hive.
Oh.
I want Jake to do
wow, that's
disgusting things to
controversial.
both of us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not many Swifties are.
I listen. Separate the art from the.
Also
The
like
Wu-Tang.
you can't. It's stolen valor to call yourself a Swiftie. Like
I'm not calling myself a Swiftie.
We
I did not call
Well, there-
myself a Swiftie.
it sounded
Gaia
like you
is
did.
a Swiftie.
I think you said I think you said we are.
No, I said we are in the Jake
I don't
hive.
know.
Gaia is a Swiftie, no doubt.
We should
I
we
was
should
not going to
activate
drop
this fan base.
$600 on.
We should
Yeah,
activate
this is-
this fan base.
this
for
is
our
a
next
really good
TikTok.
idea to
I-
talk about Taylor's
Listen,
Swift.
I
We
was
should mansplain Taylor.
I listen as somebody who really liked 1989. Big fan of Folklore.
Mm.
What was the album that came out last year?
Midnight's?
Midnight's is really good. I'm like later to the game, but
Yeah.
you know, I heard that Speak Now is going to get a Taylor's version, so that's exciting for
Yeah, it's
them.
Probably next.
You, I don't. Are you a Swiftie? I don't
No,
know. Okay.
I mean, I
I
love
thought you were calling Taylor Swift them.
them.
I was like, no
Really?
way.
really intensely.
I'm really happy for them.
It's
That's like when you're trying to cue someone
Yeah,
about someone else's pronouns.
I'm so happy. You just say whatever you think, don't you?
Mhm.
I love them.
Taylor Swift. One of my favorite performances in Cats, bar none.
James
one
Corden.
of the top three
Sure
cats.
is that.
He's number one. Speaking of my guys, James Corden, Chris
Hey,
Hardwick.
his last show is like next week.
Hey, our other
One
boy.
Direction reunion.
Our-
We're all crossing our fingers for it.
Hi, my name is Harry.
Always bringing it back. If there's one thing I can do is bring it back to Harry Styles.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I did want to just shout out back to the conversation about acting, like
Yes.
the movie star charisma of Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to
is
talk
alive.
about him. His career is like not like he's so famous and everyone likes him, and he's not really in good movies most of the time.
Yeah, it's I don't know what his decision making
Yeah,
is
because
like
he's very
when
likable.
it comes to
Like,
taking roles, but I think that maybe he has tried to not be the guy a lot of times. Like the fact that he was in Wonder Woman as like the love interest,
right.
that tells you a lot about like some of the decisions that he wants to make. But then you have him as like the lead guy in the Star Trek movies.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
that seems like the more traditional thing to do. And
you're
he's
right. That was
great in-
big.
and he's great in doing both things. But I don't know if he's quite figured out. I see you guys. Don't Worry, Darling. Pulled
Well,
up
I was
there.
gonna
He
say,
is really good in Don't Worry, Darling.
he is incredible in Don't Worry, Darling,
Yeah.
a movie that is otherwise just does not work.
I
at
would
all.
love to see a lot more stuff.
I
like
do
that.
wonder if
Harry.
I do wonder if like Chris Pine has a little bit of character actor trapped in a leading actor's body.
I think you're definitely right on that.
I think that he doesn't want to be the lead in Star Trek, but in 2009, it's like, well, we got to put you in there. Like, what else are you
You're
going to
too
do with
hot.
this here? You're
Yeah.
too hot.
I'm
You're
sorry,
not going to
bro.
be like the
There
eighth
is a
lead on
curse
this.
of like being too hot in Hollywood. I think
Mhm.
especially now, we were talking about this today with like how much A24 has like affected casting, and like how more and more casting directors are not really looking for a perfect looking people. They're actually
Sure.
looking for like the complete opposite.
Mhm.
Because that is what's like selling and attracting people, especially with streaming nowadays. That HBO, Euphoria, gritty kind of. Well, I mean, the people in Euphoria are beautiful, but you know, there's actors that aren't. Like, you know,
Sydney Sweeney is a diversity hire.
Yeah.
she's not diversity hire. No, but for real, like they're like more and more.
You're
as
right.
an actor, we're being asked to have more natural headshots, and like actually, a lot of these like pretty boy actors, like I was listening on a podcast earlier talking about Brad Pitt and how he like took that into his hands and was like, I'm gonna go like literally make myself look ugly on screen so I don't get cast as pretty boy for the rest of my life. And he was really successful in that. And I hope that Chris Pine finds that for himself. I'm always rooting for the white men, honestly. That's all I have to say.
And us too. This is what this podcast is for, is that we're here for the little white man.
Yeah.
It's hard for Chris Pine out there, I'm sure.
Chris Pine, it's tough to like uglify Chris Pine too much because he is like just like one of those like perfectly symmetrical face where he looks like he would be a movie star in any year.
Benjamin Button.
He could have been born in like he could in the 1930s. He's the biggest movie star.
Maybe he's
in
a
the
vampire.
80s. He's a big movie star. Like it just
Ian
he's like him, Keanu, Tom Cruise.
Well, Chris Pine's a good actor.
Who are you saying?
Ian Sommel. What's his name? Sommenhalder.
So if you keep
are you having a stroke?
Ernest, if you keep in me saying Camila Cabello, then you have to keep that into it.
What are you saying?
The guy from Vampire Diaries. Ian
the guy from
Sommenhalder.
Vampire Diaries. You know, our doggy nanny put that on for Moo when she was here.
Ian
Yeah.
Somerhalder.
No, that's true. They had a dog nanny stop by to take care of the dog,
Yeah.
but then
Shout
I
out.
stayed in town a day later than I thought I would, so I went in there to hang out with him, and Vampire Diaries was on, and I was like, I know
Ooh.
Ernest and Lee didn't put this on.
What episode?
It was like pretty late into it. It had been a while, and
Who was she with? Stefan or Damon?
definitely Damon.
Nice.
And then, well, because I was like, I don't need Moo becoming like emo.
Right.
Oh.
Like I don't need him like having like a Tumblr
So
face.
becoming a man.
You gave him true art.
I put on the pilot of Family Guy, and then he watched Family Guy for like 3 days.
He's changed. He's never been the same.
Okay.
He's canceled.
Are you guys
So
Team
going back to your point
Damon.
about how the non-traditional looking people may be in luck right now.
Yeah.
Bill Hader.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he's at the right moment right now.
It's also sort of a meritocracy thing where like your previous work and like your talent outside of necessarily being a movie star dictates like what you get. Like, you know, he's being taken seriously as like a mind behind something, and if he's like, I also am going to star in it, they're like, yeah, like you're famous.
Right.
You got it.
But the difference is with him and so many other people, like think of his generation that came out of SNL.
A.D. Bryant.
Whatever their projects are like, it's almost like the classic like sitcom kind of thing of like, this is a show just all about me, and there isn't really like a concept behind it.
Mulaney.
Barry has like
Don't
it
speak
has
of
the
Mulaney.
concept. Yeah, fucking Mulaney.
Yeah,
Hey,
but,
the new
we should get
special's
into
coming.
I
coming.
saw that special like 2 years ago. I'm ready to
Oh,
actually
I
that's
see
saw it
it.
in Seattle.
You
saw
did?
it?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Yeah, he's sad.
He has a kid.
He sure does.
Yeah, sure
With
is.
not his wife in the last special.
Sure it is. The other Olivia. Right?
No, she had like a normal name.
No,
like
I mean not
Patricia.
Olivia, Jason Sudeikis' ex-wife, but the other
Munn.
Olivia.
Yeah,
Munn.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
G4's Olivia Munn.
Mhm. Attack of the Show, dude.
The Predators, Olivia Munn.
Also, she was
Oh,
in that
brother.
movie.
I'm interested to see what
Okay.
stays in the edit. I really am. But honestly, he redeemed himself for me watching it. I was a bit kind of off his train, and I was pleased with it. I thought he was funny. I thought he was not giving himself the benefit of the doubt. I think he was hard on himself, and he knows that he fucked over a lot of people in his life. And
I do
respect
wonder what we'll see. Talking of Mulaney, what is going to be an actual Netflix special? Because I've
Yeah.
heard that set evolved as the tour went on.
Oh, I'm sure.
we'll have to compare notes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Did Bill Hader do Oh Hello? You think?
Probably.
I'm
They
sure
must
one
have
night he
cycled-
popped in.
They
Yeah.
must
I'm
have
sure he
cycled through
did.
so many
Everyone
people.
did Oh Hello. They had
Yeah.
a new guest every single night for like 4 months.
I feel like
Remember ours?
Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde.
That's
What?
right.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And remember what happened?
No, I don't
Mauricio
remember.
fell asleep.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Slept through the whole thing.
Oh no! Oh.
Shout out.
What a dick.
Fucking Mauricio, just
What a boob.
He went to SpongeBob though, right?
No, that was just the you and I.
Oh, that was great.
That was I could do a whole
Big
thesis about SpongeBob the musical.
fan?
It's like an allegory about Trump's America. Like they want to deport Sandy for being a mammal.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's great.
And Old Man Jenkins is like anti-mammal. It's crazy.
Oof.
Damn.
They canceled Old Man Jenkins.
Jesus,
Bitch
not
ass.
Old Man Jenkins.
And the
I'm not
lobster.
seeing Bill Hader on the list
Wow.
of 31 celebrities who showed up on stage at Oh Hello.
Oh, so it's
Oh.
only like a 6-week run, probably.
31.
31. That feels-
There were people who
4
did it
weeks.
multiple times. I
Oh,
think.
really?
Yeah,
That would make sense. Stevie Colbert.
Stevie C.
He popped in.
I'd imagine. I think Myers may have only done once, just because they kept getting.
They had
bigger
the
people.
grandpa from from White Lotus on.
Yeah, they had a lot of cool like Broadway people on.
Yeah.
White
Wait.
Lotus.
Are you talking about F. Murray Abraham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And there's
dude,
a whole joke
fucking-
about F. Murray Abraham in the second act of the show. And then,
Yeah, F like fuck, marry, kill, but
Oh, yeah.
F Murray Abraham. Yeah.
and then they found him in the streets of New York and they were like, "Will you please do our show?" And he had no idea what was going on. He showed up like 5 minutes
Dude,
before he had to be on the stage. He
F.
didn't know
Murray Abraham-
anything that was going on.
F. Murray Abraham's so cool. Like he just seems like one of the most like chill guys just hang out with.
Anyone
Love
who
that
goes
guy.
by an initial and then a name and then their last name.
Yeah.
Name one that doesn't.
JK. Oh.
No, because she doesn't have a full name after the.
Yeah, it's just
first initial.
JK last
Yeah,
name.
like but F.
Mm.
Murray.
The K's
Abraham.
fake. The K's fake.
Damn.
No real K.
It's like if I went by like technically like A Joseph Dietzen. You know what I mean? Should I do that?
thank
We'll
you.
workshop it.
What's your
Joey?
What's your middle name?
I don't have one.
Me neither.
Our parents were like, not
Nah.
necessary.
Honestly, they were
I
right.
feel like really necessary actually
Yeah.
because people ask.
Yeah.
I'd like to have an answer.
Do you ever get those like forms like you're filling out online and like there is like the star,
Yeah.
the required field in the
Yeah.
middle
Just
and
put a
name and you're like,
dash.
the fuck?
I don't fill it out. And then sometimes when you get like, I've been signing into a lot of schools lately, and it's like Camila, no name, Calderon.
No name.
Yeah.
No name.
Bleep.
Hunter would be H. Sebring Mobley.
Yeah. H. Sebring.
Nice.
That's so baller.
That rolls off the tongue just like F. Murray, right?
Mhm. H.
I am
H. Sebring Mobley.
I am seeing Conan O'Brien on this list.
I'm sure.
That would
Okay.
have been so tight to see
Man.
him on Oh Hello, pouncing around on stage.
Yeah.
He came to the island when I was there last summer. His wife
Ew.
did a play.
The island.
Yeah,
Oh
Whitby,
yeah.
the
yeah.
island I lived on
Her
last summer.
her traveling troupe, her Station 11.
Let's talk about Station 11.
Amazing, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
A show that I've
Chef's
definitely
kiss.
seen.
Come on, Hunter.
You like Shakespeare, Hunter?
I think that he's kind of a hack.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
I'm into it. Favorite
I think Shakespeare, like, it's more than one guy.
Oh,
I'm a
one
multiple
of those.
Shakespeare guy. I'm a
People
Shakespeare
really
as a,
are
as a
passionate
theater
about
troupe.
that.
It's a good theory.
It's
People
it's
get
actually a
mad
theater
about
troupe.
that.
The theater troupe is called Shakespeare, and that's why
Right.
they all signed
Oh.
Shakespeare.
Oh my
It's
god.
an initial for each person's
Mm-hmm.
name.
Yeah.
That should be like a Wes Anderson movie. I would watch that.
I don't
Well, like
take this. All right,
the
edit
20
this out.
Shakespeares.
Don't let this actually make the pod.
Sandy Henry.
Ew. Ben Platt is
He
on this
was
list?
about to do a hot take. Were you about to do a hot take?
No, I was not about to do a hot take. I was
You
about
wanted
to,
to
I was
talk
about to
about Barry.
transition us out of this, whatever this was.
Barry's good.
Okay.
Barry is great.
Oh, Barry.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new season. I didn't know it started.
It just started last week. It's going to be airing at the same time as Succession, which is the most
Oh.
HBO just fucking like flexing
why
its
I haven't
guns.
seen it.
And ending on the same night.
Yeah, that's HBO just saying like, are you
Two
sure you want to take out the
finales.
HBO from Max? You just want to just make it Max? You want to end the HBO? That is such a unbelievable flex that two of like the best shows of the last 10 years are just on at the same time or going to end at the same time.
Yeah,
It's such a bummer.
I'm liking Barry. Sometimes I'm like, it's hard for me to comprehend the levels of greatness where it's operating at, where it's just like, I'm just trying to watch a show. And this show is like running circles around me. It's so good.
This
It's
is why
just
you,
like-
this is why you should just watch like Love Is Blind.
right.
Yeah. It's one of those things.
Join the
It's
hive.
like, I think it's because it started from such a place of comedy. And like, think about like just the Emmys are fucking stupid, but like according to the Emmys,
It's a
Barry is a
comment.
comedy
I'll think on
and
it.
Succession is a drama. At this point, I laugh so much more in any given episode of Succession than I ever do in
Yeah.
Barry, because
Mhm.
Barry has become such a show that
So
is like,
intense.
it's so depraved at parts. Like
Yeah.
it's really like upsetting, but also
Yeah.
it has moments of just like comedic greatness. Like
Mhm.
there's a scene in a Dave and Buster's in episode 2, I think,
Amazing.
that is just, again, it's our king, Anthony Kerrigan, and
yeah, NoHo Hank.
what is the
Gustavus?
other?
So
Yeah, what's
good.
Gustavus? The actor's name. But it's the two of them like going around a table together in like a long one take at a Dave and Buster's.
Michael Irby. is the
Michael
actor.
Irby. And it's funny, like they're blocking at one point, like Noah Hank, you see him like sprint behind him because they're like pacing around each other to get the blocking right. It's just so funny. The
There-
visual comedy of the
Yeah.
show is working at another level where even like little things like the extras and the backgrounds of some scenes are just like doing the most in everything. They're like, like, and it's something that you know is like such an intentional choice for the show because Barry is like, or Barry, Bill is like such a genius
He is
at trying
Barry.
to block out every single thing that you see in the
So,
frame of the camera.
Bill Hader is directing every episode of this final season,
Wow.
and he has writing
That's
credit,
crazy.
at least shared with Alec Berg for every episode as well.
Mhm.
So he is like flexing
It is
hard.
his show.
And there were these moments in season 3 where the show started to introduce a little bit of like more surrealist type of imagery.
Mhm.
And
He's losing it.
yeah. And now in season 4, the final season, it seems like that is becoming a much more prominent part of the just overall visual language of the show.
Gotcha.
There are these moments. There's this one moment where a character is on an airplane and the sound design of that scene where she is first asleep and then wakes up. I was like at the sound design,
Yeah.
I had a jaw-dropping moment of the choice of how to design the sound of that scene,
Mm.
signifying the difference between her sleeping state and her awake state. In a very simple scene where it's just a person sitting on an airplane seat
Love
and
that.
like a couple other, just like 2 other setups or something like that. The way it's lit, the way she is acting, Sarah Goldberg as Sally, incredible. There's these little details throughout that I'm just like, not only is the show giving us some of the best acting, but just on every level, it's wowing me. And that's why I was just like, damn, like sometimes this is not the show where you think you can kind of just put it on to unwind, to hang,
No.
to vibe.
Can't go to bed
It's like-
watching Barry.
It's every like beat, every frame is just demanding.
Yeah.
And not that it's like not a homework type show. It's still a fun show.
You sound
were
like
just talking about.
when Ben Affleck gave that like acceptance speech where he was like, and Jennifer Garner, my wife, like marriage is hard, but we still do it. You know,
He,
Everyone's like, "Oh, that's
he was on the Smartless podcast, and J-Lo made an appearance, and Sean Hayes sang a J-Lo song to her and fucked up the word.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
And she was like, "Oh,
Broadway, baby.
honey."
If I met J Lo,
If
I would
if
sing her as
J-Lo,
J-Lo
oh honey
song.
me, I
She
would
and then
cry.
told him the correct lyric. Corrected
I
him.
just peace out.
Oh, brother.
I would never do that.
Love Ben Affleck. Still haven't seen Air.
Mm.
I would like to say the acting class in the first season of Barry
Very
really
accurate.
really spoke to me.
Yeah. You've been there to a lot of Mr. Cousineau original classes.
Gene.
Gene Cousineau.
Were you ever in acting class where you're like, am I getting scammed right now? Am I getting scammed like actively right now? While I'm in
Is that
this
the
room?
guy from Happy Days?
That's how I felt in fucking
There-
improv class.
Listen, I got a degree that was literally only acting classes for 4 years, and there were a lot of moments where I was like,
What's going on?
"Am I
here?
paying for
Oh,
this?" We had a game. I won't say which class because I'm not getting any email, but we had a game where we had a running list of we did the math about how much every day of this one class we were taking costs, and every day during the class we would write down things that we could buy with that money during and we just had a
Damn.
running list of like 5 Starbucks lattes or like whatever. So
I know. I don't like thinking about that. The per hour rate of like college classes. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's
Well, before we close out, I did want to just mention the acting in Succession, because that is not only the
masterclass.
best I've seen this year, best I've seen in a very long time.
Like ever, like as far as just a whole ensemble goes.
Yeah. I
It's-
mean, I think
Who's your guy?
who's my guy? I think Kieran is my guy.
Really?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Roman. Like, I think that there's such a like actual pureness and like wanting to be good that Roman has that the other ones just don't. And
But he's so fucked.
He's just a scared little
yeah,
boy.
But he
Do you
is
think you
just-
could fix
also-
him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. This all goes back to Harry Styles.
Yeah, but is Harry
have you
nasty?
guys ever watched the After series? Well, I won't even get into it. Okay, so
The what?
okay, really quick aside. So there was a fan fiction, like circa 2010 on
Jesus
Wattpad
Christ.
called
That's
After.
on what?
And it was
Okay.
like 5 books. Like, I'm telling you, books.
Cool.
And they made it into a Netflix movies.
What the fuck?
They're real. And I watched the first one a
And
couple
it's
of months ago.
It's One Direction fan fiction.
It's a genre called dark Harry Styles.
No.
Oh, are there some Dark Larry stuff in
Is
there?
it Larry?
Okay, so Larry was a different like a leg of fan fiction. Do you know what Larry is? You know?
I was gonna say, can I-
so lost
I was gonna say,
right
there's
now.
a
This is
so
insane.
tangent off
No
of your
culture on
tangent.
this guy.
Peak
on.
COVID times. Like this is like right in the heat of 2020. One day we went over, Gaia and I went over to Drew's house. And it's like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Mhm.
And we were like inebriated. And Gaia's like, I need you guys to read Larry fan fiction together. So then Drew and I did
Ooh.
dramatic readings of
Mhm.
Larry
Who is
fan
who?
fiction together.
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Harry Louis?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, I don't remember.
I was Zane and I was watching. No.
Ooh, Niall sometimes gets in the mix.
Mm.
This is very disturbing.
Larry is
Well, she also made us like
very-
watch all like the Larry compilation videos.
I believe it 100%.
So Larry is the idea that Louis and Harry Styles
Tomlinson.
low key were like had like a
Dating.
side
They
thing
were-
going
they
while
are
they were in One Direction.
in love.
How well,
I
how
100%
much-
I ship it and I agree.
I think
I
how
think it was
much
real.
is like kind of up to interpretation. Were they like in love with each other? Or did they just like hook up
Nah.
every now and they just like?
I mean,
oh,
it depends
oh,
on the directioner you
flirtatiousness.
ask. Me, a young love, the one that got away, perhaps.
Mm.
That's just what I feel.
I think you're right.
Thank you.
Do you?
Anyways, I'm rooting for Roman.
Do you think Kieran Culkin is hot?
Some days.
That's the correct
But
answer.
I like queer men, and he's so queer coded.
He is.
So.
He is, yeah.
I like he's one of those guys who just like sometimes I see him, I'm like, man, this is just like a gross looking guy. Like
And
he
then
looks
some days
greasy.
you're just
And then
like,
he's like on Hot Ones, and I'm like, I don't know. He's like cracking jokes. I'm like, damn, Kieran.
He's really
dad.
good.
You
He's
kinda
really
got
good on
it.
Hot Ones.
Yeah,
That's
like,
a great
he's-
episode.
It's a great epi.
he's great.
So Lee has always said that Brian Cox is like the top.
Hot.
No, in terms of like acting.
Specifically him in Manhunter,
It's
like that was his like peak sexual.
Ew.
No, in terms of like acting, if you're power ranking the performances, that's always
Ooh.
been her pick. We did rewatch a lot of the series leading up to season 4,
Okay.
and I kind of got fixated on Tom.
I'm a full Tom head.
Yeah, that one
he's-
kind of
Tom
like
Greg.
They're
They're gonna
shipped.
fuck before
Yeah.
the show ends.
They're queer-coded.
every episode. I was just like, man, this is just working.
Yeah.
And honestly, Kieran too. But in this final season, Jeremy Strong is like
He's operating at like another level. In
But
this.
he's so good.
He's one of those actors that it's hard for me to like. I just think if everyone on set basically hates you. Like, is it worth it?
No, and that's the thing. You can see everything in his performance in this season is like, oh yeah, no, I bet this guy was annoying as shit to work with. But
Right.
also like
It's so good.
it comes at the point where it's just like incredible. I will say also, this is an unbelievable Tom season so far. Like everything that Matthew McFadden is doing in this, like
That last
the disgusting
episode.
brothers. He is so good in this of like, I don't want to
Capacious
spoil
handbag.
where we're at in the
There are
show, but
moments
it's
where he feels like he's genuinely being human. Like he is so convincing, and
he can show a lot of depth.
yeah, and the character is at a point where it's just like, I don't know
He's
if
so
Tom
scared.
has a lot of humanity left in him.
He's
But
so
sometimes
scared.
I look in his eyes, and there's a scene where he's talking to Shiv,
Mhm.
and he's talking about like one of the first times they ever met, and I'm like, he is genuinely like being in love with her right now.
Mhm.
But there's
Oh,
also
really?
these layers. But there's
I didn't
these
get any of that. I
there's
was like,
these-
why are you touching her shirt? Like, what are you doing?
there's these layers of like manipulation that all these people have to do with each other, and that's what we saw time and time again from Logan, where like even if Logan did have a genuine moment with one of his kids,
Yeah.
there was always
never real.
another angle. There was always another reason to have that moment. And one of the beautiful things about this show is that what it gives you is this very textured painting where it shows you how these people are not just one thing. And in the performances, it's like they can communicate all of these different versions of themselves at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's real.
I
That's
think-
how people are.
I think a lot of that is testament to the way that they film it and the way that they give the actors space to
It's-
really
it's
embody
like
the
theater.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that is why it does well. And that is a huge reason why I always gravitate towards theatrical performances as like the purest form of acting, because it is just seeing someone like drop into a character so deeply that you're just gonna get way more rich performances. And I mean, I think they don't lean out of the Shakespearean aspect of it, which I love. It's so Lear, it's so Titus, like that. The way, oh my gosh, like Logan having Roman fire Jerry was so Shakespearean, like to prove his his worth. Like I just love it. It's so theatrical, and I think that it's an actor's show, which is so rare because I think that film and television can be so much the director and the editor's craft, and actors are kind of like a cog in that, whereas theater is such an actor's art. And it just brings that into it.
It all comes back to Jesse Armstrong, and that he's just always, he is like so on the pulse with the show. Like there's a bunch of like directors that'll pop up every now and then. Lawrence Kafaria, Mike Mylod, of course. But like Jesse Armstrong is just one of those like writers and creators who's just like, let's just kind of keep doing this and just like play around with these takes and like get as loose as you want. Let's keep doing these ad libs and then we'll stitch stuff together. One other thing about Jeremy Strong that like really, I just always think about this because, and not the first person to point this out, but going into this final season, whenever Jeremy Strong and Brian Cox were both doing interviews, Brian Cox specifically talking about how fucking annoying Jeremy Strong was to work with on set.
All the time, yeah.
And Jeremy Strong is just like, you know, like everybody thinks that the show is King Lear, but I actually think that's Richard III. And it's like, man, you really would think that you were actually the star of the show the whole time, wouldn't you, my guy? But it's just the best, man. It's one of those shows that it's so special. It feels like you're watching one of those like really, really all-timer shows, like as you're seeing it on screen. And it's because it has all of these unbelievable actors, even in like the side characters, like somebody
Carl and Frank.
Dude, Carl and Frank. In this last episode, like all-time heaters from our guys, Carl and Frank.
The
just
bodyguard
unbelievable.
in that last episode.
Not Corey. I forget the name.
I don't remember his name either. But like even they're just like they have such
Colin.
like a deep Colin, there you go. But they can just like call in Stewie to come in and be like a few episodes. They can call in the Queen Cherry Jones to just like show up as Nan Pierce. Like it's just incredible bench on the set. We haven't even mentioned Sarah Snook, who she's gonna have a huge runway, I think, in the last few episodes here of this season. We'll see where her character ends up going.
We'll see.
But
I mean, I don't want to get into any spoilers of the plot, but I think that for a lot of people have been talking about like, what is the ending of this show? And like, do these people get a happy ending? What is a happy ending? What is a victory for these people? And I think that someone has to get some type of victory for us to know who doesn't. So I am watching certain characters, you know, especially the 3 main kids and Connor, who has like surprisingly like become
our boy
central
Alan Ruck just
to the fold.
Yeah.
Who is going to get that victory and who isn't? Because there has to
Greg.
be a comparison point. Like I feel like that's probably what needs to happen for us
Greg.
to know.
I mean,
Greg,
he
like, coming
penciled-
through.
That's
Oh,
basically
let me
what
not
happened in
spoil.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That would be this
like-
Game of Thrones ending is just like,
Brand the
whose
broken.
story was this really? And it actually ends up being his
Who
Greg.
else more
Greg owns
fitting
this.
than Greg the Egg?
No, Greg is he's a real disgusting brother.
Man, I
disgusting.
I love our King Greg. Nicholas Braun is just unbelievable in here. The show's just great, man.
We're
It's
gonna
special about
do
it.
a full ep once the
I don't know
the
how they're
finale
gonna end
airs.
it. I feel like it might be one of those that someone's gonna be mad. Some
Oh,
So,
no
yeah.
doubt.
realm of the internet will
I
be
think-
upset.
I do think that you're right that there is going to be a winner, but like I don't really care about theorizing in a show like this. Like that's just not really that interesting to me personally. Like I kind of just want to see where it goes. Because at the end of the day, like whoever wins, it's going to come at the cost of everything.
Yeah.
Like whoever wins might end up being like the loser overall.
yeah,
Like that's
you don't
you're going to lose
necessarily-
all of your humanity.
Is there someone that you like
Tyrion.
want to get it? Like not for me. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like,
listen.
But what even is it? Like that's the
Right.
thing is like, is it being CEO of Waystar Royco? Like
Yes.
it might get
Is
it a
sold to
happiness?
Matson and then it won't exist anymore.
I know,
Right,
but like
but it
that's
won't.
well, exactly.
But
So
Kendall's not.
it's not like we empathize with like the trophy they're going after because it's like A, might not exist, and B, bad.
and B, it's
for
like
anyone.
Fox News. Like it's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't
So,
represent.
well,
a
that
good
makes
thing.
it so they can kind of do like almost anything
Yeah.
with the ending. It's going to be really interesting.
I did want to say one other
You just
thing
licked
that
me.
I don't. Did this actually get confirmed that this entire season is over the course of 10 days?
No, I think is
What?
each season is one day. But or sorry, each episode
Yeah, no.
each episode is one day.
I thought that
But
there
they're
were
not
10
all
consecutive days because they're like,
No.
we're a week and a half out from the election. We're a week out until the election. Like things like that.
Oh, it's
Wait,
gonna
I was
no,
end
gonna
at
that
the
say,
is-
election?
if so, they need to give credit to who did it first. Kiefer Sutherland's 24.
Would you shut the fuck up?
It all comes back to 24 as being innovative by
What the fuck?
a
So true.
time-bound television show.
They invented that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was actually 24 as the first one.
no, well, because 24 the entire season is one day.
So they should call this 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
6,
we'll call it
7.
The entire season
David
of 24
Fincher
is not
7.
one day.
I think that the entire season might just be one day. They might just be like, they have private jets. They can
No, I
get to
think-
and
I
from
think
places
it
really
is.
fast.
It's a 24 episode season and each episode is 1 hour in real time.
Are you being serious?
Is that not what it is?
No,
That's what
24 hours.
24
Every
is.
episode's one day, 24 hours.
No, each episode, you're talking about 24 and you're talking about Succession.
No,
right
I'm talking
now.
about 24.
No, 24. Yeah, no, each episode is 1 hour
in real time.
and 24 episodes in a season. Yeah,
You're
that all
right.
happens in
Yeah.
one day.
That's so stupid.
I get the fuck out of here. Okay, you've never had a life in LA. You've never lived a day in LA. Working for the counter-terrorist unit,
that
when
show's
does-
set in
waterboarding
LA.
waterboarding criminals.
when does he take a shit?
You know,
Do they show him like just
there are
like
commercial breaks
does
at
he
points.
nap?
He doesn't.
No, he's
eat,
on
but
like benzos. He doesn't. He's so constipated.
Usually, every morning will start with him waking up. I think he's just so fueled by adrenaline that he doesn't need to eat. He doesn't need to drink. He doesn't need to shit. He's just pure like
He is Kiefer.
well, or maybe while waterboarding some terrorists, he just takes a little sip of water.
Oh, he sticks
He
a
hydrates
tongue
a little
in.
bit. Yeah, just like
Did you see he has a new show on Paramount Plus?
that looks like 24.
That's crazy.
Paramount
Because he's
Plus.
another dude who's like the worst guy on earth.
I don't know what you
Like,
mean by
he's like
that.
a bad dude.
it's called
Yeah?
it's called
Yeah, he's like a set nightmare
Well,
guy.
he's
Like,
also-
everyone hates him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a set nightmare. Well, he's a Nepo baby. His dad is fucking Donald
Mm.
Sutherland. So
it's called Rabbit Hole.
Everyone's a nepo baby.
Stylized as rabbit/hole.
Mm.
cool.
It's like they/them. My pronouns are
it's
rabbit
a spy
slash-
thriller.
That's like an Elon Musk tweet.
Is it created by the guy who did 24?
Oh no.
Oh wait, no, he did This Is Us
Oh fuck.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
That show.
and Patriot. What is Patriot?
The
he
pilot
made,
of This Is
Wheat
Us is
Crash.
actually really
Look at
good.
that.
Sure.
Is that all you saw?
No, I saw probably the first like season or two.
Wait a second.
People
no,
They
were-
added
guys.
like a third storyline.
Directed
and I was
Crazy
like, I
Stupid
can't keep
Love.
up.
No, this guy.
Oh, Crazy Stupid Love.
So this guy who made the show was the writer for the 2001
Dogs.
film Cats and Dogs.
Let's go. And then Crazy
And
Stupid Love.
He also wrote Bad Santa.
I love Crazy Stupid Love.
Bad Santa. He wrote the story for Looney Tunes Back in Action. So
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
He was a producer for
Hey.
Smallfoot. Zendaya is
Okay.
Michi.
okay.
Give it a
Cool.
chance.
What if we wake up tomorrow and we're like millionaires? We have like 5 billion views on this video.
That's me every
It's
time
so,
I
like,
post a TikTok.
focused.
Yeah.
Every time I post a TikTok, I'm like, this will be the one.
Yeah, you're like, see you suckers. I'm out of here
How
tomorrow.
does
It only takes one time because you get $1 per
Yeah.
podcast.
I was about to
listen.
say,
Mhm.
like, at what point does TikTok views translate into money?
When you get them consistently, I
Oh.
guess.
When we
and you join the
we got an
creator
angle for the
fund,
mix
or-
sponsorship.
Yeah, no, because we
something.
did a Lee Pace TikTok that got 100,000 views. So, how does it feel to have like
Nice.
the most watched thing you've ever done
Be
to
about
be
Lee
a
Pace.
Lee Pace booty shorts?
Well, he is 6'5".
exactly.
I shouldn't forget that.
Hey.
People are freaking out.
Hey,
about
it's Short
this.
King season.
It's Short King season.
Any final thoughts on Succession?
Just
Barry,
watch it. Don't be a little bitch.
Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves.
Watch some
Um,
theater. Go out and go see a play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland is one of Hunter's guys.
That's on my. But just his politics. Him, Mel Gibson.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. But just like his party platform that he ran on for California.
I guess the answer is no. No more thoughts on
Thank you
any
for-
of those things that you said.
Thank you for coming on the show, Kami.
No problem.
Any plugs that don't have anything to do with any of your recent
Don't
or
look me
current
up.
work
Don't look
that you
me
may or
up.
may not be associated
You
in?
can find me on Instagram at
Which-
my name.
I don't think. Do you,
You
post
follow
your
me?
work?
Oh. I was like, I thought he was gonna be like, I don't think I
Why
follow
don't
you.
you don't promote your shows on your Instagram?
I surely post when
That's
I'm
what
working.
this is.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
like SpawnCon.
Yeah.
I see it on your
Again-
stories sometimes.
I post on my Insta.
You can
Yeah.
you can promote stuff if you want to, or you can just not.
There's
Mhm.
no, I mean, all I can promote is to follow me, and my work's on there, even if it doesn't show
Where-
up on Ernest's feed.
Where can people find you acting in the world? In the woods?
Currently, Cincy Shakes, baby. Cincy Shakes.
Should people come
It's
see the
okay.
show? What is the show?
No, it's for kids, so sorry, adults out there.
Stay
But,
stay away.
I don't know. A lot of adults showed up to Super Mario Brothers, which is a movie for like, I don't know, unborn fetuses. So
You'll see me,
It's a
you'll
movie.
find me, I'll be out there.
It's a movie for like the fucking stockholders. It's for them to know that like the company's not going to go out of business.
It's for Universal
Yeah,
annual pass holders.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for them.
There's a scene.
I'm excited to ride the Mario Kart ride when it opens. It looks like a lot of fun.
There's a scene in that movie that is like it's reverse engineered to be the scene where when kids watch it, they're like, "Mommy, I want to get that from the Nintendo Land."
Right.
I want to have that toy and that toy
Yeah.
and that toy.
Exactly. So, thank you
Of
For-
course.
coming on,
Thanks for having me.
and thank you all for listening and watching. Rate, review, subscribe, like, and comment, and let us know your thoughts on everything we talked about.
Yes.
Visit weboughtamic.net for every episode delivered in your inbox. Become a donor.
Mhm.
Join the Discord.
Buy
Thank you.
Buy the We Bought a Mic Funko Pops.
Yes.
There's one of all of us, and now one
Yeah.
of you as well, Tommy.
Every guest, you don't consent to it. We just
Can
make
you
Funko Pops for
Can you
guests.
do the 3D printer scoot in the shape of a Funko Pop?
Yeah, well, no, but it's like a Funko Dimensions, but it's like a tiny head and then just a giant dong. Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, it's instead of a Scoot Hog, it's more of like a Scoot Chode.
I paid like $300 for a Scoot McNairy Funko Pop.
It's Scoot one of your guys.
Maybe.
All right, and
We'll
starting.
see.
Welcome to weboughtamic.
We'll see you next time for more Robin Williams with Man of the Year.
I'll send you my review of Dungeons and Dragons sword fighting.
Okay,
Text
sounds
me.
good. Thanks. We love you. Bye.
Bye.